Ahoy, hoy, friends, and welcome to the salon. By the power of positive thinking, tonight we are going to make a gambit. Part 1 and 2, in fact. That's right, we are going to run a level 2 diagnostic on one of my favorite two-parters, something I refer to as a Star Trek soap opera. We'll talk about it about why in a moment. But I'm super excited to not just talk about these episodes tonight, but to also talk about a fun away mission that a couple of us had. And so I'm going to start there, actually, and then beam in the crew. So let's start with my co-host, who had a clandestine away mission a few weeks ago, and a science officer. That's right. Matt, Trev, and myself all went to Universal. We all saw the bridge. I don't know if you knew this, but they rebuilt the bridge of the Enterprise D for Star Trek Picard Season 3.
Who was responsible for that? Why didn't they take credit for it?
Nobody has talked about it. But get excited. We certainly were. I want to share some fun. Super cool. It was part of Universal Fan Fest, which had not only the Trek experience, they had a Back to the Future experience that was really fun. They had Dungeons and Dragons, which I didn't make it to, but I know Trevor did and thought it was really cute. And a couple of other really fun things that I wasn't able to get to. Hopefully they will redo this so that more people can see it and go next year. There is 10 Forward Bar where I got a drink in that lovely photo, which is, yes, on my Grindr profile as we speak. And then a fun little experience. And of course, the Bridge de Resistance. There I am firing a torpedo, and there's Matt pretending to science.
I will also say that was the video of me at the horseshoe is on my TikTok, because that's a thing that I do now.
Oh.
So, yeah.
She's making waves, everybody.
I mean,
she's ticking and talking. But this was super cute. I thought they did a really great job. For those who weren't able to experience it, I hope you will if they do it again. I really hope they do it again because they are preserving the set. But it was super fun. You go to the Los Angeles spaceport. You get a little briefing video, which basically just explains why the turbolift doesn't look right. It's great. It's an enhanced ADA accessibility thing. But then you go via shuttle to the Enterprise D shuttle bay. You get to see Worf's nemesis, the Blue Barrels, which was super fun for me. And then the actual experience starts. There's a crew member welcoming you. They're all in the correct 25th century Picard era uniforms because it's now in the museum. And oh no, there's an entity, and it gets into the ship, and you have to run into sick bay, and then you run into engineering, and then you end up on the bridge. I thought it was super cute. The details in all of the sets were really lovely. Even that dinky shuttle, that I actually kind of love it. That's one thing that I wish that they do just a little bit differently in the future, but the vibe was fun. And I thought the actors did a really great job. The makeup was really solid. They had a couple of Bajorans. They had an Edosian, a couple of Vulcans and or Romulans. Super fun. Matt, Trevor, what'd y'all think?
I went to all of them. We managed to. I think we were at fan nights for like 6 hours.
Yes,
it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the entire experience. I will have to say it was definitely like. I know all of us are such huge Star Trek nerds, and so we're like, this is the bridge. This is the bridge. You know, looking at it and touching it and fawning over it. But it felt kind of like compared to the other exhibits, it seemed almost like an afterthought. Which was weird because they used it as one of the anchor ones. Like right when you come in, you have Quark's Bar, you have all those things there. But the exhibit itself, it was kind of entertaining because I was like, they didn't put a ceiling on it. They didn't do there was a lot of like weird things that I'm like, they really, really went over the top with the Back to the Future, that whole experience that they had everybody and they used the tram. It was incredible. And, they have the Wicked stuff and they had, the Dungeons and Dragons one was on an actual soundstage. You had to go off and actually go onto the soundstage to do it, which was really incredible too. And it felt like, I think comparatively, I was like, okay, but they kind of like pushed you through really quickly, and it was very like they didn't really have time to like interact with you. But I loved it because it did remind me so much of Star Trek: The Experience back in Venice. Just the same, like you're going to the shuttle, you're doing all that. I was hoping for a little bit more with the shuttle ride, that like you would get into the shuttle and that's where you would have like a briefing moment. You really just walk through the shuttle.
Yes.
Almost like you're not really doing anything.
It was kind of hilarious, but yeah,
literally,
I put in my feedback. I'm like, hopefully you do this again. The shuttle is where you could add another minute or two, because it was also like the whole experience was also very quick. It was like 8 minutes. So like it was a good foundation. It was really fun. That it would be easy to make it even better next year.
I wish that hopefully once people aren't as protective of the set, that they do give you an option of like, hey, I will spend whatever money you want me to spend if I can like sit in the captain's chair on the, like actually have, especially like for a group or like of people like us and stuff that would want to go, like actually be able to take a photo on the bridge or be
with
able to
us
have
at our stations.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Krista down to 10 forward, the rest of us on the bridge. Yeah.
We just like have her on the view screen over on the side, just showing that she's there.
With a giant hat.
I did. I will fully admit that I cried the first time, and Ryan was there. I was like, "Listen, you need to understand that it's going to happen. I'm going to get teary." And I did notice. I went through 3 times, and I realized, like, kind of at that point where they're saying, like, and it's the point I have on the TikTok video of like who's doing that, who's translating and everything. They always look back at the horseshoe. So if you're standing at the horseshoe, it's almost like they're looking at you like
they all kept looking at me, and I was like, it felt like a you're not supposed to touch that look. But then I was listening to the dialogue, and I was like, listen, I went the last night of it, so I was like, I'm touching shit. I know I'm not supposed to, but I'm touching
every single time. I would be like, I got photos doing like at science at the horseshoe. The first time there was like an attendant in the back, like a universal attendant. And then the rest of the time I realized that they were just like, I don't care anymore. But I went through like 1:30 in the morning and they were like, literally do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, just take photos. You clearly, the only people doing this at 1:30 in the morning are people who desperately are in love with Star Trek. So.
Yes. Trevor, what were your thoughts?
I agree with everything that you both said. I think the only thing that I would add is that I wish that there was like the 4 actors on the bridge were sort of in the pit in the command chair section and by Con Ops. It would have been cool if they were also like back by the horseshoe. Like if somebody was at the horseshoe, somebody was at the science station, and as they were talking to each other, you were kind of in the mix of it all, as opposed to it would make it more of an experience. But it was lovely. I got to do the experience in Vegas a couple of years ago, a couple decades ago. And that was really cool. And getting to move around the bridge a little more was neat in this. So that aspect was really cool. The fact that it was a actually filmed set versus something that was built for theme park purposes was really neat. But yeah, I just enjoyed the fact that we got to do it. I think I enjoyed the drinks at 10 Forward more. So shout out to the food and beverage department.
Yes.
Universal. But yeah, it was great. I had a fantastic time. And it was a sort of covert idea of my husband's to sneak me off. So it had special meaning as well. So it was fun.
Yeah. It was delightful. And again, like I thought the actors did a really great job, including like some of them I would imagine this is just an acting job for them. Some of them, like friend of the pod, Matt, the Blurred, as you may know him on Instagram and YouTube, did a lovely job. I believe he was in command the first time I went through it as I believe a Vulcan, maybe a Romulan, not to assume.
He was. I can tell you, he was a Vulcan each time. He was the Vulcan in Ops, so he was always. Nice. There was always a female that was in command. Yeah. You know, like been both the cast.
The talk. Yes. Yeah. I also loved the both times I went through, there was a cosplayer in my group, and at least one of the actors would ask the cosplayer if their comms was working. it was a really nice touch. Like the interaction is like, is your comms working? Ours isn't. Like it was adorable. I really hope they do it again. It was super fun. We could gush over this for forever. I'm glad I went. Thank you for Trevor for helping make that happen as a birthday surprise. I took a buddy of mine. He was as nerdy for Back to the Future as I was for Star Trek. So we had a gay old time. It was delightful. And I wasn't going to go, but then some bitchiness happened on Twitter and Mama loves mess. So I went and I loved it. I am very curious how it cost an entire episode's budget, but that's neither here nor there. It is fucking cool as hell. So I'm glad it's being preserved. End of bitchiness for now. Let's beam in the rest of the crew. Let's stay on theme for a moment and beam in Captain Hart. Hello.
Hello.
Look at how snatched he looks in that uniform.
Yeah, my coworker tailored it for me and I look fucking sick. Yeah. Seeing that experience, like, really, like, it gave me, like, I haven't experienced a lot of FOMO since moving, but, like, that really gave me some serious FOMO. Like, I was like, damn, if I would have known they would have done that, I would have auditioned. I would have done it. I've been like, I'm doing this shit. I don't care. But one of a former student from the school I used to work at was in the sick bay. She had purple hair.
I saw her on my first
awesome.
Yeah.
So did I.
Yeah. No, she's great. She posted a lot of stuff on her. Actually, I think they use they them pronouns, but we'll switch that. They posted a lot of stuff on their Instagram about it, and like they had like a class of 2401 and like these little cute videos, and it looked like they all had a really good time. So, and I kind of peeped the other different experiences, and no one was posting like how they had a good time. So apparently, everyone loved this. The actors loved the Star Trek one. So.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very on brand.
I told them they need to start watching the show, and they're like, "We did for research." I was like, "Oh, that's so funny."
It's delightful. Speaking of delightful, here's Benji.
Oh, so delightful. I'm sorry I'm not in uniform. I am kind of wondering what rank this might be. Commodore, Lieutenant, I don't know. Anyway, this is me dressed up.
Lumapton Merle.
Sure.
Lutism.
I got the lutism.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh God.
There's a pill.
I'm allowed. I'm on it. Speaking of being on it, Ken, lean in your hat, please. You haven't had a great track record in text lately. Bring it in. Let us see what that hat says.
Oh no.
Why?
You're wearing a red hat.
Okay, good. Okay.
It's the Starfleet Academy, everybody. We're okay.
Starfleet Academy. I know it's red, but it's Starfleet Academy. All
He
right.
hasn't got off the deep end that far.
I haven't gone off deep in that far, but I could put on a different hat if you'd like. I didn't even think it because I'm red-green colorblind. It didn't even occur to me that it's red. So, all right, enough of that. But yeah,
amazing.
Hi, everybody.
My favorite beanie that I would wear in cold weather when I'm rarely in it was from Barack's inauguration that I worked in 2013. But after Trump, it's a red beanie and it says presidential on it. I'm like, ooh, no, thank you.
Oh, well, so now I got to let me see. I get there.
He has options.
There we go. How about that
There
one?
we
There you
go.
go.
Okay, good.
Love it.
Yeah. And
Speaking of loving it, here's Krista.
Hi, Krista.
Forgot.
I'm putting
Krista on
with
location.
her profile.
I don't have a uniform. I'm wearing my Cochrane First Contact. We're getting trashed.
I think getting
You're
trashed
bitching
is your
my-
uniform, Krista.
Do what?
I think getting trashed is your uniform.
I'm in 10 forward. Fuck you. That's what I do.
I feel you would definitely be like you'd be like a Deanna jumpsuit dress thing or like a Guinan with a big hat. Like that would definitely be your thing for sure.
This was
I would be a Guinan with a hat, but my hat would be like from Practical Magic, the one Stockard Channing wore that was like the street.
I was thinking a beer helmet.
No.
Yeah.
No. But this dorm that I'm living in, there's plenty available. Just everybody relax.
Moving is fun. Well, we've got nearly a full crew tonight. Joanne unfortunately had to work. I told her to tell them it's my birthday and that should get her off, but sadly wasn't good enough.
Maybe it did, just not in the way you intended.
Oh. One can only hope for everyone. I don't know what kind of alert that would be, but pretend I played it.
I'm just giving it both.
Yeah, just check off things.
Yep.
Check off.
What are we
Check
doing?
off, yeah.
This is a podcast. Welcome everybody to the salon. The crew is here. It's time to talk about Star Trek. But before we do, we simply must set an intention.
This is obvious, but don't forget to set an intention when you light it, or you're just going to be wasting the wax.
Indeed, we must. And to set a birthday intention, Stan, you don't actually have to answer this question. You're not going to answer this question. We're going to.
I refuse.
Because congratulations, Stan. You're now in Star Trek. We're going to go around the room and talk about what specific episode would be made better by Stan being in Star Trek. And as always, I will start us off by saying that the TNG episode Final Mission would be significantly better with Stan in it. And your only role, you have basically the same line of dialogue over and over.
What about the shuttles?
You're just sitting at Mission Ops like the guy from Office Space talking about his stapler, but you're mumbling about the entire. You're like, guys, we have shuttle. Don't forget, we have like 100 shuttles down there. We could just send a shuttle. Like the entire episode, you're just mumbling over everyone, talking.
They all have warp cores.
They could
Most of them have warp cores. They all have sensor platforms. What are we doing?
It's a hell of a search operation that just didn't happen because Riker had to take out the trash. So that's my answer. That's my episode. Let's go around the room. Ken, my dear, what episode of Star Trek would be made better if Stan were in it?
I don't think it's an episode. I think it's a series, to be honest with you. I think that so every week I watch a show which actually seems like it has Stan in it, and that's Ghosts, because Isaac Higgintood reminds me of Stan. And so every single time I'm like, Stan should have got this part. But I'm thinking to myself, would it be interesting if a guy, you as you are right now, gets transported to the Enterprise D and you're in every episode and you are just that guy. Like you would be able to do the neutral zone 1,000 times better. Someone from the 21st century, instead of, maybe even replacing Data. Like you could be like a really snarky, crazy, fun version of Data. But anyway, I'm thinking that Stan should have been a regular and not one of those one season on, one season off regulars, or, gets jettisoned in the 4th season because he's a little twerp character. I'm thinking that, he should have been there from start to finish. Yep. Stan.
And the best part is that since there's no continuity between episodes, and because you've already seen the whole series, you're basically you are David. You're solving every episode as it happens, and no one's questioning you. I love it. Krista.
It would just me being like, why aren't you listening to Deanna? She just made a really good point.
She knows shit. Speaking of knowing shit, Krista, what episode of Star Trek would be much better if Stan were in it?
Yeah, I didn't know this was our intention, so I didn't even have time to think about it. So I'm going to answer The Naked Now.
I'd have some fun there.
For obvious reasons.
I figure just The Naked Now, and instead of and it's Stan and Data battling for the attention of no, that wouldn't really I didn't have any time to think about this. They're all on drugs, they're drunk, they're acting badly. Let's have Stan.
Sounds like a Thursday night.
No, what
My
you just,
other option is
I'd be searching for the other gay person on the ship.
the other
I'm like,
gay
what you want is Stan to have sex with Data instead of Tasha. is
Listen.
what-
Yes, that's what. And my screen
fully
is so
functional.
small. I don't even know who said that, but you were correct. That was it. Also,
Remember, he's
maybe
short.
he develops some irrational lust for Worf, which I think could be very funny given his feelings for Worf. Let's pass it on to the next person.
I could fix him.
I
Will.
think it's
Oh my God.
Will.
I put my choice is to put Stanley and Gambit. Make him some gay pirate on the bridge who's like, y'all don't recognize the captain of the flagship of the Federation. Like
That was going to be one of my points that I made. Damn it.
It's like, how do you not know who this fucking guy is? Like,
Yeah.
I would, if I was on a pirate ship, that would be the first thing I would know. And I just want to stand in the back. It's just like, hello, just like, are
Yeah.
you fucking like just some guy in the back, just like, I can't believe this.
Just go up to Picard and be like, I know who you are, Locutus.
Or just like him and Riker fighting, goes, give him a note like, next time, like lower the volume, it's a little much, like do that. Like I could see him doing it, and just you being like what's her bucket's like assistant, being like being down the is like, don't you dare ever tell her she can't do things, like how dare you.
You dime store con.
Yeah,
Shut up.
exactly.
Seriously.
That would be my
Dollar
choice.
store con.
Put him in tonight's episode.
Good answer.
Matt, my love.
Mine, it could be, you could fit so well in so many of them for so many other reasons that everyone stated. I would love for you to have been the Watcher in that season 2 of Picard, where it's just you're just in modern day and you're like, what are you doing here? Like, why the fuck are you here?
Except
And
I
like
would be
bring
friends
it
with
down.
Guinan.
Yeah, like you just are like Guinan's gay best friend that she like is hanging out with at the bar, and it's like, I don't know why. I think it's probably because I just want that whole arc improved, and I think you could improve it in general.
Thank you.
I love it. Benji.
Hello.
So you know the buffer time episode of Lower Decks? I think it's Temporal Edict. And so when Captain Freeman finds out about buffer time, she like basically puts everybody on Pomodoro timers. So in this version of the episode, she instead brings in Operations Chief Stan, who makes a plan and calmly but firmly delegates tasks to the crew. The crew gets everything done without breaking a sweat. They work in all their union breaks, and she is just cunty enough to get the job done.
Union.
I love it.
Oh, and
Love everything.
since nobody said it, I'm surprised. Bar Association, obviously.
Oh.
That tracks.
Union
Stan.
episode.
You didn't know what the intention setter was going to be, but is there any particular episode that we missed that you feel we should have highlighted?
I love this. I'm not normally a give me attention kind of person, which is, I know, a ridiculous thing to say as somebody who co-hosts a podcast, but I fucking love this. Thank you all very much. This is very sweet and kind. And
Now we sing happy birthday?
no, absolutely not. I will end this podcast. I love that. That was very sweet. Thank you all very much. I like all of the ideas, and I will add to it that I end up on Deep Space Nine instead of Worf.
Ha
There you
Love it.
go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I save Jadzia, but still bring in Ezri because I'm like, hey, we need a counselor. I love the Trill. Let's bring in Ezri Tegan.
Love it.
I can I give my bitchy answer? I had two. Do you want the
Better
bitchy
than
one?
anyone I know, please.
Let her out, girl. Don't hold that shit up.
I would put you. I would cast you as that one little gay dude in Peak Performance.
Yes, Kohlrabi.
Kurami. Thank you. I couldn't remember his name. I was
Honestly, yeah, that's it.
because I think he would have beaten. I think he would have beaten Data. But
And
yeah,
you're sure this is the one you want to pick?
Yeah.
Mm.
Also, we're
Yeah.
pretty sure your idea of playing video games is going like this.
Yeah.
You can
What's
find
the-
out on our channel now that I'm doing Star Trek Armada play.
What's
Yeah.
the one from DS9 where Alan Moraine? What is it?
Rude.
That-
Oh,
Long
the
home.
game
Move
master.
Move
that
along
dude.
home.
You could be that dude, but like in a skirt. You have to wear the skirt outfit.
Roll the dice.
Bitch.
Stan, with the intention set, I'm going to disappear for 1 second to make an adjustment to an internet issue that I'm having, but I will be right back. So you keep going.
Excellent. We shall. And the intentions are set, and that was delightful. Thank you all very much. All right, y'all. It is time to talk about tonight's episodes, Gambit 1 and 2, the Star Trek soap opera. Let's kick off our level 2 diagnostic.
Calibration is locked and normal. Diagnostic underway.
Like I said, I love these episodes. I will kick off our top thoughts sections. I on rewatch, I was like, oh my God, this is a soap opera in Star Trek. There's a fake pregnancy, a fake Romulan, fake mercenary, faking death. Like everything about it is just so campy, over the top, dramatic. Shit doesn't make any sense. Yet again, we have the entire bridge crew down on the planet. Like Starfleet officers needing to be actors is hilarious because they're all pretending to be different people trying to figure out where the hell the captain is. I love the scene where Deanna dresses down Riker for moping in his quarters and not doing his job as the captain to like move forward. Good for her. Good melodrama. And I also I love how different this episode is. Like it's not your standard cold open. Like we talked about this when we started doing two-parters. Like this episode probably could have been condensed into one, but there are aspects in both that I really love that I like that they got to breathe. And I was also going to mention the bit that Will brought up a little bit ago, because we've talked about how sometimes through plot or story, character choices, the Trek universe can feel a little bit small. Like, oh, everything's about this person again. And I'm not talking about the series you might think I'm talking about, because every series did that. But in this episode, the most famous captain in Starfleet is not known in this part of space, which is both ridiculous and kind of amazing. It kind of feels real universe. It feels like it's flushing things out. Because, yeah, like how do they not know that that's Captain Picard? He has no disguise. Like very famous things happened on that ship with this person. So I love it. And we get Robin Curtis back in a like it. She's different enough. It could have been like in a sci-fi show. It could be weird for an actor to come back as the same species with very little change in makeup other than hair. So kudos to her for taking that risk. Talura is very different than Savick, and I thought she was delightful. I'm excited. Benji, what were your top thoughts on these episodes?
Well, I'm very glad to hear that somebody actually likes these. Not favorite. Yeah, they're still fine.
Fine, I'll take back over and add one thing I forgot. Worf getting dressed down.
Yes. But I mean, Picard, like in the series, is an actor, at least as like, you know, a hobby. And he is a terrible actor in this episode. Robin Curtis, like for all these years until like very recently, I did not realize that was her. So playing the same species, could not tell. She plays evil like really, really well. She looks gorgeous. Like I love the hair on her. So that all works. Baran somehow is dealing with 3 spies on board, making him equally as dumb as Chakotay. Bev wearing a beret. It's a choice.
All right, Matt, your top thoughts.
Well, I actually really like Gambit. I think it's a lot of fun. I think that it makes no sense most of the time. I think the episode itself is kind of like, why is the captain of the Federation flagship? What shouldn't the captain of the Federation flagship be better versed at doing diplomacy and strategy in space and not like going on the whole thing? It's fine. It's fun. That's I think my top thoughts on Gambit. It's just one of those ones where it's a lot of suspension of disbelief. I do love that we get to see all of the characters in a much different setting than we normally see them, and I think that's always a really good thing that we get to see, like, you know, they can step out and sort of be undercover but not undercover, but fake what they need to fake. Like they have a lot of bad tells, but it makes it fun. That's about all I got with that one.
Will, your top thoughts on these episodes?
These episodes are so it's I don't remember ever liking them. Like I never like there are always episodes where I for some reason just glazed over as a watcher. Like it's a season 7 episode, so it felt like they were like there's a certain level of like everyone's a little tired. Like let's try and shake this up a little bit. They are 2 very strange episodes. I enjoyed them more this time, like drinking through them because it was fun because it felt more camp. I don't think they're episodes you enjoy sober because there's so many like issues with it. And like the character stuff's really interesting, but like it's 2 episodes. They're so fucking weird. It's such a strange, like, it's just weird. You get dropped kind of in the middle almost. It doesn't feel like it should be 2 episodes, but I couldn't imagine trimming this down to 1. So it's they're weird. And then it ends in a very like TNG way where it's like, oh, we have this weapon and whatever. But like the most of the episode is just it verges on camp. It's almost so bad it's camp. Like in a way, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost campy. It's like, it feels like someone wrote, it's like almost like they picked up a script off the street and said, let's film this. Like, it's so strange. It's like, I don't know how to place it. It feels like it could be an original series episode, but like it could almost be like, it's so strange. And then, it's great world building. I do like the pirate vessel because it looks like a bug, like it looks like a cicada or something. Like I like how weird it is, and the visual effects of this episode are great. It's such a season 7 episode. It sits with Timescape with me. The like if there are 2 episodes that I go, here's season 7, it's those 2. Anyway,
Timescape
those are my thoughts.
is a master.
Everyone in that, it phones it in. It is an episode where everyone in that cast is phoning it in from another room. They're on a collect plan. They're calling and collect because they're phoning in. It's not great. Someone's in a phone booth. Someone's on a car phone. No one's phoning in from the same place. I will stand by it. I like the episode because it's weird and it's camp, but it's anyway.
And entirely to build a set for another show.
Yeah, literally, that they don't use the back end of ever in the other show. But, Krista, darling.
Real quick before Krista goes, Benji, you've got some tech issues if you want to workshop. Your internet or your sound is cracking a lot, just FYI. But Krista, your thoughts on these episodes?
I like these episodes, but it's because they are it's because they don't make sense and they do require that you drink. It's better viewing if you're drinking. And I will agree that it seems like it should be a single episode. There are moments where I was watching it going, oh, is he still talking? Like, are we still getting the explanation? Wow. Okay. You lost me. Initially, I'll say like the opening foray right into it, where they're wearing their like secretive blending in clothes. I don't really understand why Bev's going with French resistance, but it's like she's not the beret. I don't understand it. And then she just sort of disappears for the whole thing, and then reappears for that very awkward interaction with the alternative Klingon. And all of it seemed to take, from beginning to end, it seemed to take a long time to get to the end. Like there was just a lot of stuff in there where I was just kind of going, yeah, I'll have another drink. I will say that my favorite exchange was between Data and Worf, because you usually don't see the two of them interact very much, and it was sort of like a textbook human resources conflict resolution. Like they wrote this thing in where, you can't be doing this. This is your new position. This is what you have to do when you do this. And then for them to say, we have had this disagreement, but I do hope that we are able to remain friends. And I just thought that was like such a ridiculous insert. Like we're like, seriously, we took 5 minutes for that. Everybody gets shot with phasers. Oh, that's the other thing. In the beginning, in the first episode, in the first part, this is after they go to the planet, before they find the leftover artifacts, and Riker walks up to a bunch of boulders and goes Riker maneuver right away. And then Geordi comes from the other end and he goes Riker maneuver right away. And now I've got two men on the screen, both Rikering maneuvering. And then they start firing phasers at you. Fucking people couldn't hit the side of a barn. You are literally 10 feet away from one another, 10 feet away, and you can't hit the side of a fucking barn. I was embarrassed for them. I don't understand, like, why use the phasers if you're not gonna actually phase somebody, and then like phase them, like right? Hit the fucking target. These are little things. Overall, it was fun. I had to drink. So
I don't drink mostly, except for wine and Aruba. But I think that when you said it was a soap opera, we talked about it a little bit on chat back and forth. It was. I mean, it was like I don't know if it was designed to be like a tribute to Dynasty and Knots Landing and Dallas and all the big soap operas of those days. But the episode breaks, the commercial breaks were very soap opera. The break at the end, oh my God, they're firing at the nacelle. Dun, 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 to be continued next week on Dynasty. It's like, okay, it was very much a soap opera. And there were some interesting character moments. I think there was some worriedness about, can Data command? He sort of saw some side glances from the crew. Was like, is this android going to get us in trouble? And Data figures it all out. And you're like, wow, Data's really got it, except for when he takes things completely seriously at the end. Data, he's joking. You do know he's joking. Take him to the break. It's like, okay. This guy, yeah, he's like a dime store con. I agree. And he's also like the penultimate TV 80s villain. He's like got such a long list of IMDb's as bad guy. I mean, let's bring the bad guy. I thought one of my all-time favorite moves is with Robin Curtis. And she does sort of the all shucks move at the very end when she's trying to do the weapon. She's like, she does this. I'm like, wow.
But the weapon looked like a lobster, like a frozen lobster with just the claws. No? I was drinking.
Ancient Vulcans had a shellfish allergy, so it tracks.
Ken, you've also muted yourself, so.
Clear your mind of all violence. What? No.
Yeah, and shaking, and then the big
like,
dramatic. Oh,
But it's like
no,
it's like saying like,
Worf.
don't think about apple pie. All of you just thought about apple pie.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't work.
It's like you'd have to be on a ayahuasca spa visit for that to actually clear your mind of. That's right. I'm expelling things from all of my orifice. I'm not having a single violent thought. Thank you so much. That's not what was happening.
If you do expel things from every orifice, it does tend to make you not want to be violent.
Say again?
No, please don't make him say that again.
It's okay, Krista. You can watch it back later and find.
I feel like that's
everybody remember the mute function when you're not talking.
Yeah.
Look at my
like that's
tiny
an alert.
little head compared to all of you when you make. It's like remember. I'm squeezing your head.
Trevor, your top thoughts on these episodes?
I have thoughts on these episodes. I love everything about these episodes except the plot. I don't. To Krista's point, to Ken's point, like we're attacking them with a thought lobster. Like I don't understand. Like there was so much build up for that. I also didn't think about this until I started listening to everybody's kind of thoughts on this, but this should have been like the cold open of the teaser for episode 1 was fine. When it came back from break, it should have been 3 weeks earlier. Like there should have been a jump back to Picard working his way on, and then and these 2 episodes could have taken the span of 3 weeks instead of like jumping into it's been 3 weeks, Picard's on a ship. No, he's dead. They think he's dead. Oh no, he's dead. Like there's so much Picard is dead that I'm just like, but he's not, and it's not. It's anticlimactic, and it's just And he's a bad. Watch season 1, episode 8 or 6 of Picard, and then watch these episodes. I don't know if it's Patrick Stewart or if it's Jean-Luc Picard, but either way, their bad guy voice is exactly the same voice. Like whenever they're trying to be rogue, it sounds exactly the same. I was also like, just as the resident floor plan nerd of Star Trek and sets, it was hard for me to remove myself from the fact that they were all just like hanging out on the battle bridge. Like I realized that was supposed to be the pirate ship, but it's like, I'm like, they're just right next door to main engineering, guys. Like they're right there. Like I never forgot that that's like flip the set around or something, have them look the other way, something to make it look different. It just looked like the battle bridge, and it lost me for that. Otherwise, I loved Raspberry Beret Bev. I was fine with it. Bring it. I kind of loved Deanna being like the badass interrogator. Like you're lying, and you are a Betazoid. Like that whole that was fantastic. I would have liked her to wheel a phaser at some point because she didn't really get to do that in this episode. But whatevs.
Better aim.
Right. Data in Command was fun, but I agree with Krista that like the whole I hope I have not ruined our friendship was just unnecessary. Also, speaking of unnecessary, like making Worf a bad first officer was like a dumb choice because like in the pilot episode, Picard was like, Mr. Worf, take command of the saucer section. Like, could we see some progression between season 1 and season fucking 7? Like, has he not learned how to be a good officer at this point? It just feels weird if you're like, you've got these core characters and like one of them's just really bad at his job the whole time.
Well, in fairness, he's also bad on DS9 half the time.
I was going to say, if you want me to answer that rhetorical question, I would be happy to.
I don't because it's rhetorical, but it's your birthday and I have no choice. Anyway, sorry, it's an Narita and I'm like 3 in because it's Stan's birthday. Anywho, celebrating bitches. I enjoy them for the quirkiness and the weirdness of like, oh, Data's in command now. Nope, just kidding. Riker's back. Nope, he's gone again. All of the shenanigans are fun, and there's a Cosby Kid at Ops, and that's fun.
Who is no Wesley Crusher.
She's
she was
trying.
terrible.
Listen, Sandra had those. She had those twins. She had Eldon, who wanted to open the wilderness store instead of going to med school. It was a lot.
She was a better actor on other shows for sure.
Yeah.
This was not her. This should not be on her highlight reel. I'll just say
I'm
that.
sorry, sir. They've disappeared from our sensors. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. But anyway, it's a fun romp. But I will say that part of what started our first thumb war like 2 years ago of me saying season 1 is actually better than season 7. This episode kind of answers that question.
How dare you be accurate? It's true. I want to go in reverse order. I want to talk about some of the plot bits a little bit differently. Let's talk about Captain Data and Worf. While I will agree, and part of my problem with Worf is that he didn't have much development until Deep Space Nine, and even then it was always just because of the woman he was with. But I kind of liked it. I like seeing Data put him in his place, like, because he needed to be put in his place for the way we saw him acting. I also thought it was really cool how Data, as an android, what Data got more progression in the show than most other characters. We've talked about this before. So it was cool to see Data as an android picking up on Riker's subterfuge, what fucking Worf back at Tactical wasn't picking up on, and saying, I think he wants us to let him escape. I will begrudgingly admit that Worf is right. Like, they could have disabled the pirate ship. The mechanism, I think, for us as the audience, making that impossible is the possibility of Baran killing them because of that device. If they found anyway, like there's a missing bit there that I think could have made letting them go make more sense, because Worf was technically right. He could have disabled that ship and just stopped it right there, but then we wouldn't have episode 2. That said, I thought Data in Command was really fun and funny. I think like the him sitting back in the chair like this is so, like, it's half douchey, half cunt. Like, dismissed.
He's like pretending. It's like, this is how a captain behaves. It's like,
Yes.
hello. Like, it's so funny. Like, he does it ironically in Redemption last week, where he kind of, when he behaves a certain way when he's captain, the way he stands in, the way he sits in the captain's chair, like, he has well, kudos to Brent Spiner, but like the idea of Data as captain, it's like a performance for him because he thinks he has to behave a certain way, which is funny. That's like how a computer would assume that, because if their interpretation of a captain is Picard, he behaves a certain way. So Data emulating the captain is really funny. Like, it's an interesting choice. Yeah, his conflict, him as a captain is so interesting. Like, I wish like we would have gotten like a Captain Data show, because like that the assumption something that is inorganic, an android assuming a captain role, like, you could see how people would have conflict with it, because is he going to take into the emotional connection he has with his crew, or is it just going to, as everyone just numbers, like, that sort of thing. So it's interesting, like his kind of growth as a character, especially in this episode as captain. Like, it's always fun to see him in command, because he like pretends and makes very captainly decisions, but they always feel, for lack of a better word, calculated. It's like he's run every simulation, and this seems to be the one that would be, this is the correct path for it. But I don't know. It's fun. It was funny watching him be captain, because he's just like pretending. It's like a little kid pretending to, wearing their dad's suit. It's just silly.
Well, but he was sort of the he was the opposite. They set it up, because when Riker says, I know you're going to tell me I shouldn't go on this away team, which everybody in the audience is like, why the fuck are you going? So, but not this time. This time it's different, and he's going to go. It sort of makes it the setup that the Data, aside from being an unemotional or unemoting android, he also has to make no emotional decisions. So yeah, we could disable, we could do all of this, but instead we're going to do this very kind of bland thing instead. So it was sort of a setup to at least that's the way I read it. But I gotta say, every time I heard Patrick Stewart say artifact, I fell out. Like, artifact. Who? It's artifact. Artifact. No.
Well, he's British. So
Thank you, Will.
that's just his accent. That's just his accent.
And it's wrong.
Krista doesn't believe in those type of people.
No.
He was in character.
She says, "Get right."
That's
a great segue into talking about Captain Galen, unless others have thoughts about Captain Data.
I have one thought.
Go for it, Benji.
One of my favorite scenes in Star Trek is Data and Worf having this like robotic conversation about, I hope that you would consider me a friend, and oh, I am sorry, I would hope that you would still consider me a friend. It's like there was part of me as a child that wished that it was like that easy to like say that you were friends with somebody. So it kind of stuck with me for that reason, but it is also completely insane.
It is I
It's
who should
robotic
apologize.
people having an emotional conversation.
Yes.
Oh yes, we are both humans. We both have emotion. We are both talking. We are both friends.
I would
We
still
are
like
both
to be
doing
your
this.
friend.
But is it not the job
He
of
is
the
a
first officer? I did. Don't ask me questions about my son.
Livingston practically must have been throwing up. I mean, to have to witness that, Livingston, yeah, seriously.
Was he even in it at that point?
It's season 7. He's been there the whole time.
Well, no, I'm saying like there's a lot of times like you just don't. It's just empty. Like was he even?
Matt,
There have been a lot of Livingston.
Yeah, I've been watching a different show. Sorry, I forgot what we were talking about.
Livingston also went and found some artifacts when
Yes, but those artifacts were very fishy, so no one paid attention to them.
Oh, Ken dad joke. I was waiting.
One of the one of the cats that pissed all over the bridge ate him.
Can you imagine the Spot in Livingston show? That would be
Cats infested the bridge one summer, and yeah, I don't know if
that's true.
Fish, man.
All right, Captain Galen, actor extraordinaire. The captain of the Federation flagship, unrecognized, convinces the mercenaries, I'm actually a pirate. Artifacts.
Artifacts.
Just for Krista. Who has thoughts on Galen and the pirates? Ken. And then Trevor.
First of all, I have to say that everyone reacting like Riker, and then you see everyone reacting, oh, Picard's not dead. We think he's dead. We think he's dead. Oh, there he is. And so all the crew sort of different seeing that he's not there. But then you're right. He has the same, Patrick Stewart has like 2 modes. He's like, he's got this kind of voice. Oh, what do you mean, Riker? Kill him now. And it's like, what kind of acting is that? We really mean that, Riker? The captain of the flagship of the Federation. It's like, okay, stop. It's like, anyway. So it's just weird. It's weird. It's a weird portrayal. But I do like when he's like, you're kind of wondering, you're supposed to wonder if something's weird with Picard, right up to that point where he gives that look to Riker. He's like, fix the fucking engine. It's like okay, but that's it's just over the top. It's over the top. It's a soap opera. That's all. I'll stop now.
Well, I'm really glad that the TOS aficionado in this is saying that this episode is over the top. Because clearly, it's never been over the top in Star Trek
Careful.
before.
Careful, little one.
Artifact. What is it? This artifact?
Artifact.
Artifact.
It's true.
Trevor.
Oh, my thoughts on the Captain Bad Guy?
Yes.
What's up with those pants?
Yes.
That's all I got.
Stay Puft Marshmallow.
Pants.
That's all I got. His outfit is like not. They created the outfit and then hired the actor. And they were like, "Uh-oh," because when they met, it was not good. It's just not a good combo. That it's Julian's like what do you call it, racquetball outfit, but like on a man at his retirement party. Like it's just not good. It doesn't give me bad guy. It gives me like weird wedgie. Like it's very distracting, and it takes away from the actor doing whatever the fuck Ken just did.
Weird Wedgie was my high school nickname, by the way.
Fully believe it.
I think it's funny that you think that nickname ended in high school.
Anybody else have thoughts on Captain Galen, or if you want to bully Ken, now's the time.
Come on, bring it on! Bring it on! Where's the friendship of the Federation?
Can I do both?
Yes, please.
I choose. No, I here's what I don't understand. The entire pirate crew was like extra hairy. They were all so furry. And then there's one bald guy. And
First
everybody
she comes for the Europeans, now she comes for the bear community. I mean,
Yeah.
Krista is truly out for.
She's on it today.
Unlike
And-
this podcast, which has 3 bald guys.
how is it that Riker walks onto the pirate bridge, which somebody noted was far too neat and tidy and well lit? I think it was Joanne.
Yep.
Look, they're all
Close, it was Will, but
They all have big hair for
It
sure.
was me.
they all have very big hair, but
It's
nobody
the 90s.
nobody noticed the bald guy.
I do love a good boob split.
Maybe he was the diversity hire. Maybe they have DEI on that ship, and they hired a bald person because they're like, we need to even this out.
Well, that's why they lost. That's why they lost. They had a DEI hire.
Person anymore?
Exactly.
What do I have to say? Hair challenged? What is it? What's the follicle
Follically
Impaired.
Follicularly.
hampered? What am I?
Well, no,
Let's
now
go.
that,
Okay.
I can't wait to find out.
but now look at this diva in the middle there, next to
Okay.
Picard.
Ooh,
But I'm
look at that blue steel. Ooh, that
But to the right, push the fucking button.
Yes,
height, right? Yeah.
I mean,
can get
I
it.
have a
Problematic day alert.
Wait, Will, I cut off what you said. Repeat it.
I said I have a booty he could raid.
Problematic day alert.
Indeed.
Wow.
That was that's a fun new addition that I didn't know we had in the show.
Ooh, mama. Is it,
Oh yeah, you've been gone.
how fast can you go warp 9 inches?
Eh.
This
But-
is
Pointing out the bald is what's offensive about the last one.
Listen, we haven't gotten to Deep Dick 9 yet, so
no. That was Deep
Wow.
Space Nine. There's a little inches sign at the end.
maybe you haven't.
Oh, Tifa!
Problematic day alert.
I'll show you my gambit.
No.
Boy. Boy.
Has anyone not seen it?
Yeah, seriously.
If you haven't, it's $4.99 on
unsee
my
it.
OnlyFans.
None of this is my fault.
Hey, Krista, real quick, turn your phone sideways.
Oh my god.
Some programs that work.
Landscape. Supposed to go land.
I like that you just call her
Rotate
phone
again. Rotate
landscape.
it again. I want to. Can you go upside down? Is it gonna let you go upside down?
Whoa! Wow.
For those not watching on YouTube, Krista is on her phone in portrait mode and it doesn't switch to landscape. So she's just tumbling around
She's
like
spinning around.
Or the
Like
in-universe
tumble dryer.
explanation. The in-universe explanation. Krista is in 0G.
yes. A ship came out of a time bubble and hit her nacelles, and now she's spinning around, about to destroy. About to
not her
blow.
nacelles.
Her ample,
Not the
ample
nacelles.
Her
nacelles.
ample nacelles.
My nacelles. My nacelles.
All right, I want to take one moment to open up and talk about Riker and Deanna at the beginning before we try and land this ship or crash it into a planet, because it is a mess tonight, and that's exactly what I wanted for my birthday. So thank you. Thoughts on Commander not being Captain Riker and Deanna telling him to put his big boy pants on? Trevor.
This was a sneak preview of the Troy that we would get, not in the films, but finally get in Star Trek Picard. Like, Marina got to do more and show them that they could basically give her anything and she will crush it. Like,
Yeah.
the reading a bitch that she laid down in this was phenomenal. And she managed to, like, read him, also break down, but also pull her shit together, but also fucking be a counselor, but also respond to somebody who outranks her when he calls her out. Like she navigated every single beat of that scene with a different level and layer. And it's like, I feel like that scene should be on her reel. Like it's just like, it's just phenomenal, Marina. And I love everything about it.
Concur.
Yeah.
And also, even before then, we get this look from her.
Matt, you're so dumb.
The dab. What was that?
He dabbed.
Boy.
She needed
I love that. That is
Come
that
on.
is how I emotionally feel every single day.
If I
wake
wanna
up
give her-
and look and I go,
If I send you this, I know you're lying.
Fucking Marina deserves an Emmy for that. Just the still frame, not even like just that expression alone.
can we also appreciate how much hair she has shoved on her head?
Yes.
Like
Oh,
they
yeah,
have that
bouffant.
stacked.
Yeah. She
Wigs.
used it too. She really got into character. Like Bev slapped a beret on, but she's like, I'm getting in there with the comb.
Yes.
They're all in the
25
transporter
minutes
room,
in
and she's like, "I'll be
quarters.
there in a minute."
Yeah, but also look at this full blowout that she gets later on in episode 2. It's like, this is worth taking the time. We're gonna look at Marina's hair.
Stan, this is your
Fine,
birthday.
Richard.
We can take whatever time you want.
Thank
It could
you.
be a whole episode.
Her season.
Look at that.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Look
Oh
at
yeah.
that.
It's good. I
That
don't
is
think
his
it's
blowout,
definitely her
too.
hair. I don't think that's a wig or anything. There might be extensions in there, but no, she's got the thing is once she starts wearing the uniform, her hair gets real good.
Yes.
Like 6 and 7, her hair is whoever was doing her hair was doing her right.
Listen, if
Can
they
we
brought
also
the
just
beehive back or her cheerleader look from
That
Pilot?
bouffant thing she's got, it's great.
But we need to take a moment to acknowledge that, like, in the crisis of this episode, she took a moment between beaming up and finding out that Picard was dead, and like the rest of the episode, to swing by Mott's and have her hair done.
she needed a blowout.
Fresh
I
blowout.
fucking love her. For
Yeah,
that.
she's like, I'm
Probably got her
sad.
nails filled too. She
I'm
probably got her
sad.
nails
I need
filled,
a blowout.
Oh, by the way, while I'm here, if I could get my gels filled too, I would really
I
appreciate
need a
that.
fresh set. Can we do that? Ooh, yeah.
Thank you so much, Mott. It has been a day.
She
Got to be
single-handedly
Wax
helped
and
create
two
this
CCs of
franchise.
Juvederm. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, that clip, that still that you just showed, not related to Deanna's hair, I'm sorry to say, but
And shut
that
up,
bit
Karen.
of- that little
Yeah,
bit of
that's not what
comedic
we're
moment,
doing. We're talking about her hair now.
Somebody give him a wedgie.
that little comedic
Well,
moment.
let me tell
when
you
the
something.
Klingon is
Ken.
pouring the,
We're
pouring
talking
the-
about her hair right now.
when he's
We're all
pouring
angry
wine on her
and
hair.
trying to talk about something else, and we're all scared. How dare you?
Do you think you have the monopoly on opinions right now?
Not right now.
We've broken Ken's spirit.
Not just right now. No.
It is my birthday.
No.
Just kidding.
Hey, it's your
What better
birthday.
gift can we give him than breaking Ken?
But yes, that basketball player dropping the water was fine. Fine.
Yes, and then Brett looking at it like I thought that was very comedically on point.
It was good.
Yes, Ken, you are off topic, but
And then that entire like decanter.
It was on the episode. It's not that on topic.
We're on this one now. Data like empties the entire decanter into the glass.
Yeah, they made just enough for him.
I hope there was a bucket, because like that, otherwise they were cleaning that. Crap.
And a mop.
Bucket and a mop.
Yeah.
The decanter.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
For this, anyway, friends, I believe it is time. We are going to land the ship
Well,
by telling
what are we
folks
gonna do?
we're gonna land. the
We're
ship.
going to land the ship. Yeah.
There
You have to
we
do
go.
it. If you're gonna do it, you have to do it right, bitch.
By reminding folks of a few things. Number one, we will be back next week continuing our two-part review series, our level 2 diagnostic. Next week, we will be talking about Descent, parts 1 and 2, from season 6 to season 7. Captain Beverly, Data's Emotions. Before then, please like and subscribe. We're here on YouTube. We are on Twitter and Bluesky and Patreon and all of the podcast places at Salon Trek, wherever you may find them. Please do find us. A little reminder that we got to do something cool with FanFest, but also, again, all the podcast places at Salon Trek. We are here every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. live on YouTube at Salon Trek. And you can, of course, support us on Patreon if you've got a few extra dollars. We definitely appreciate that and put out some fun bonus content every month. We will figure out what that will be for the month of May and let you know next week. So get excited. Trevor, my friend and co-host, please enlighten us with the tallies and the scorecard for this week.
In honor of your birthday, fearless leader, there were 4 problematic gay alerts. There were technically 4 Bev alerts. There were 2 tosser alerts. There was 1 Ken dad joke. Will landed the ship once. And there were 2, count them, 2 explosive saucer separations. I gave 150 bonus points to Ken for aborting his own hat. I gave 5 million bonus points to Benji for loving Timescape as much as I do. I gave 2,000 bonus points and a cocktail to Krista for daring to ask the question, why so hairy? I gave an additional 50 bonus points to Krista for, and another thing. I gave 690 bonus points to Will for managing to control himself in that badass uniform. I gave 74,656 bonus points to Matt for finally watching Star Trek. I gave him an additional 2 bonus points for spotting boob splits. And last but not least, nope, just kidding, I gave 1,701 bonus points to Commander Deanna Troi just for her hair. But finally, last but not least, I gave 100 gold press latinum bonus points, which can never be revoked, to Stan for being our fearless leader, putting up with all of our nonsense, rambles, bits, and show ideas, whilst making the whole show possible, but mostly for being our friend because we love you and shit.
Happy birthday.
Well, my emotion chip is malfunctioning, and thank you. I appreciate you all very much. You are all very dear to me. Thursday evenings are the highlight of my week, and I'm super jazzed that my birthday fell on a Thursday this year. The big 3-0. Just kidding. I'm actually 90, and I have been for a while, but today I turned 40, and I couldn't think of a better way to close out the day. than to be with my Star Trek friends. So thank you all for being here, and like and subscribe. If you don't subscribe, you're homophobic. It's my birthday. Thank you all very much. This was delightful. Thank you to our audience. We will be back next week talking about the Descent 1 and 2. Get excited. And until then, please live long and prosper.
All hands abandon ship. Proceed to the nearest evacuation zone immediately.